I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot, just like the fajita.
Y'all, I'm driving to work right now. I need you to check this out. Why do you have so many tires on your truck? Like what? What are you doing? What are you? I don't understand. There's a lot. Oh, it's green.
I testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect him. I made the call, it was just like I'm reffing. I know we left, yeah, now we back together, but I guess that is better now. Later than never, like, what's happening? I'ma need y'all quit asking when. Me and my wife gonna have some kids. Right now we just practicing. Teacher said quit rapping, man. That gon' hurt my average. I said thank God I ain't average. Yeah, I'm a bright young man. Kill the GPA and the BPM. Look, we on.
SCPC students, what's up? This is Kevin Kyle coming to you on this wonderful College Devo. College Devo. College Devo. College Devo. Guys, I'm so excited. We're going to mix things up a little bit for our devotion, but first, some announcements. Love does. Guys, last week, I hope you really enjoyed reading chapter 1. It was so fun to have the prologue of Tom Sawyer Island and this idea of what it's like to create, and then getting into being with somebody no matter what, and this idea that love, it does things. It's very challenging to read, but I love the way that Bob Goff presents this. So I'm real excited for chapter 2, Sniper Fire. So that's going to be pretty cool. Listen, if you need any help getting this book, finding a place to get it, let me know. We would love to help you out because we still want to stay connected with you as we go through this book together. So once again, contact us, let us know. Alright guys, next of course is Passion. The tickets are live and people are already getting tickets. I'm so pumped to go to this with y'all. Matter of fact, they just came out with the 2019 promo video, so why don't you go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, wait, that's not the video. Hold on, I got it. Alright, so that's pretty exciting. I cannot wait. I remember the first time that I went to Passion. I will always remember it. So it is going to be a life-changing experience for everybody that goes. So I hope that you can make it. Also, I had a question about paying in cash. So, if you want to pay in cash. We don't really have an avenue for that online right now. We're still trying to figure that out. If there's any way that you can pay online, try to do that first. But if cash is the only option, we will work with you. Just let me know. So for our devotion this week, we are calling this Vapor, not vaping. So Vapor is this video that I saw from this group called The Liturgists. If you guys remember last week when I mentioned this group that has a couple of YouTube videos and they do a podcast, they're on Spotify, and they provide just some really good meditation videos, some ways just to kind of connect spiritually with God. Well, this was one of the first videos that I actually saw from the liturgists. And instead of just talking to you about it, you need to see it to believe it. So take a look at this video. It is called Vapor, a Meditation by the Liturgists, and then we'll talk about what we think it means.
Divrei Kohelet ben David Melech Birushalayim Havel Havalim Amar Kohelet Havel Havalim Hakol Havel Ma Yitron
Meaningless. Everything is meaningless.
שיעמול תחת השמש דור הולך ודור
Most scientists estimate that the universe is 13.77 billion years old, and that the Earth is 4.54 billion years old, while human beings have only been on Earth for less than 200,000 years. To put those numbers in perspective, if you stretched out your arms and your entire wingspan was representative of Earth's geological history, and then you took a nail file and took just a little bit of the edge off of your fingernail, you would have just wiped out all human history. There's this Carl Sagan quote about a photo of Earth taken from Voyager on its way out to deep space that echoes the sentiments of Kohelet, the teacher, in the ancient wisdom book called Ecclesiastes. Here's the quote. "Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you've ever heard of, every human being who ever was lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam." So here we are, on this pale blue dot, tiny specks of dust coming into existence for a moment, hurling through space and time, only to flicker back out after a few moments. These moments, these are all we have in this life. We work, we laugh, we cry, we make love, we write books, we build empires, we wage wars. But we often try to ignore the fact that these moments are temporary, that all our empires and the gross national product, our art and our literature, our $300 designer jeans, all of our knowledge and technology, creativity and legacy is erased. It's all going to flicker out at some point with everything else. Vapor, Havel, meaningless. Everything and everyone is a vapor. here for a few moments, and then gone. This sobering thought can be depressing, or it could be absolutely freeing. We can either go the way of many around us and ignore this fact, medicating and numbing ourselves in avoidance of the truth of our humanity. Or maybe there's another way. We could embrace it. We could recognize our humble place in this universe. We could recognize the silliness of human arrogance and empire. And perhaps as a result, we could learn to appreciate and fully experience the moments that we have as the gifts that they are. Think about when you were young. Do you remember getting worried and stressed about things that seemed so important at the time? Now, how do you feel about those things? The issues that felt like life and death, like how the kids didn't give you a fair turn on the playground that day. How do you feel about that now? Do you laugh about it? Does it seem silly? So what are you worried about today? Do you really think it is any less silly than what you were worried about as a child? Your job? Vapor. Your apartment? Vapor. Your school loans? Vapor. Everything and everyone you love and worry about? It's all vapor. Are you worried about being unique or important? In our society, we worship our individuality. We love to talk about our fingerprints and snowflakes and how every individual is unique. But have you ever looked at a snowflake? I mean, they're all kind of the same. Back the camera up a little bit, and you are nothing but a human being, a speck of dust in time and space, not all that distinguishable from the 7 billion other specks of dust swirling around you. How many of our moments on the pale blue dot do we waste worrying and stressing about the vapor? The Kohelet, the teacher, in Ecclesiastes shows us the vanity of human toil and worry. Another teacher came and taught about the vapor like this: "Come to me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So what are you so worried about? What causes you stress? Because it's going to the dirt like everything and everyone else. It is vapor, mist, smoke, havel. This doesn't have to be depressing. In fact, it might even be liberating. Finitude, after all, is actually what makes life sweet. Christmas time can be such a wonderful and magical time of year because it only happens once a year, not in spite of it. Parents treasure their moments with their young children at home precisely because they know those moments won't last forever, not in spite of that truth. So take a breath. Recognize your frailty. Recognize that the things that feel so weighty and worrisome in the back of your mind right now are nothing but vapor. Feel your breath. Recognize your lungs keeping you alive without your ability to make them work or not. Your heart is beating. Your cells are working together to keep you alive. And it's all magical and mysterious and beautiful. Life on planet Earth is a gift. And you only get it for as long as you get it. And then the match gets blown out. So set your hearts not on things of earth, not on the vapor, but let go. Fully open your heart to both the gift and the giver, the mystery, the beauty, that in which we live and move and have our being, that which we call God, the oneness who holds the vapor together, who somehow brings meaning into the meaningless.
Alright guys, so that's a wild video. A little gritty, a little in your face. Matter of fact, it's fascinating to me how it starts off with a Jewish rabbi singing Ecclesiastes, but then we start with the word meaningless, and it kind of shocks you, right? It kind of jerks you into figuring out what the author in Ecclesiastes is saying. What I find fascinating about Ecclesiastes is that is the book that is written by widely known as the wisest man in all of history. It was written by Solomon, who had more money, more land, more everything than anyone. But then all of his wisdom accumulates into Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, which is meaningless. All of this is meaningless. It's like chasing after wind. It's like vapor. But I really love the point that the liturgist made, where this can either be depressing or it can be freeing. And it made me realize that this concept is really about perspective. You know, I heard a pastor of mine one time say that when you are elevated to God's point of view, when you see things from His point of view, you really get a proper perspective of the world. And I tell you what, I'm actually going to post another video on the email that we send, and I'll try to do a link in the comments below on YouTube. But it's a sermon from Francis Chan. It's from his Crazy Love channel, which is kind of cool because that was one of the books that we were thinking of doing this semester together. But it's this old sermon illustration. Matter of fact, he says that it's one of the first ones that he used, and it's about this rope, and it explains a little bit more about this concept of having an eternal perspective. So y'all, this week I'm praying for perspective to be in your hearts and your minds, and not just any perspective, but God's perspective. And my hope is that as you find yourself wherever you are, in college, working, or wherever, that you see these moments, even the hard, tense moments, as precious. Because someday soon, they will vanish. And remember, we do not belong to this world. This world is but a vapor. But there is something more, there's something beyond, there's something eternal. And God is calling each and every one of us to that. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. I can't wait to hear some of your responses from Love Does. And hey, catch up with me. Let me know how you're doing. You are prayed for. You are loved. See you guys later. Bye.